This is 5 in 10 from Skywatch TV, 5 topics in about 10 minutes for Thursday, October 12th, 2023. I'm Derek Gilbert. Topic number 5 today, Israel, of course, a worst-case scenario developing for Israel as a second front appears to be opening in the north. As of this recording on Wednesday afternoon, Hezbollah, which is a much better armed, better organized, more formidable fighting force than Hamas, appears to be opening that front along the border between Lebanon and Israel. IDF Forces spokesman Lieutenant Colonel Jonathan Conricus confirmed Wednesday that Israel fired rockets into southern Lebanon for a second straight day, striking Hezbollah positions after the Iran-backed group hit Israeli soldiers with anti-tank missiles from the Lebanese side of the border. Bloomberg has also confirmed that Israel said an anti-tank missile fired from Lebanon hit one of its military posts near the border. This is an area Sharon and I traveled to during our visit in March as we traveled to the northernmost village in Israel, Metula, not specifically to see the Lebanese border, but because that's a location mentioned in the book of 1st Enoch, very near there, the place where Enoch is supposed to have delivered the judgment of God to the weeping angels, and now a second front in the war between Iran-backed proxies and the state of Israel. This is taking place as the ground invasion of the Gaza Strip is underway. This is sure to be bloody. It appears imminent. Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu told Biden in a phone call on Tuesday, we have to go in, we can't negotiate now. Netanyahu has also previously said publicly that what we will do to our enemies in the coming days will reverberate with them for generations, end quote. This is not surprising given the bloody, horrific images coming from the border communities between Gaza and Israel. Kfar Aza, a kibbutz there with more than 100 bodies recovered by IDF forces, including some 40 children, babies. There's been some pushback on social media saying you can't trust the media accounts. They're just trying to stir up war. Look, I'm sorry, but this is not Kuwait in 1991. This is a different situation. You've got media on the ground. You've got video cameras on phones everywhere. You've got Hamas, militants, terrorists, actually, uploading these images to social media from their phones and bragging about this. This is not a false flag event, and I'm sorry if you cannot look at this event and call it what it is, which is the work of supernatural evil, then you really need to work on refining your discernment. In a bizarre development, Hamas terrorists who invaded some of those homes along the Gaza Strip on Saturday have been trying to use credit cards looted from the homes that they invaded. Credit card companies in Israel now reportedly blocking fraudulent purchases coming out of Gaza. Hezbollah in the north, meanwhile, has issued a fresh statement saying that it calls the United States a direct accomplice in civilian deaths taking place in Gaza, which sadly are unavoidable in these airstrikes, as Hamas has basically told people in Gaza to ignore Israeli warnings to leave Gaza City because they were just trying to stir up fear. Israel trying to minimize civilian casualties in this war. The air war continuing with an unprecedented bombardment of Gaza for a fourth straight day. The deaths on the Palestinian side now reportedly upwards of 1,000. Syria, meanwhile, launched missiles toward the Golan Heights on Wednesday. Didn't appear to do any significant damage. The Golan Heights, rather sparsely populated. Again, another area that we visited back in March because of some of the megalithic structures on the Golan, like Gilgal Rephaim. Israel reportedly released an emergency statement to people in the area, telling them to stay near their shelters. Meanwhile, Israel has announced it's forming an emergency wartime government. The main points of the agreement, first, a war management cabinet established with Prime Minister Netanyahu, the defense minister, and the chairman of the National Unity Party, Benny Gantz, who you see here with Netanyahu. This will also include Lieutenant Colonel Gadi Eisenkot, former head of the IDF back from 2015 to 2019, Minister Ron Dermer serving as observers in the War Management Cabinet. The second point from the National Unity Party, 5 ministers without portfolio will be added to the Political Security Cabinet. And third, in the War Management Cabinet, a place reserved for the chairman of the opposition. This would be Yair Lapid if he chooses to join the unity government. No word yet as to whether Lapid will take up that offer. During the duration of the war, no bills or government decisions promoted that don't relate directly to prosecuting the war. Topic number 4 as we move on, the Afghanistan earthquake. This kind of lost in the news coming from Israel this week, but another earthquake hit western Afghanistan Wednesday, just days after 2 large quakes in the same area killed more than 1,000 people. Normally, this would be a top story. This 6.3 magnitude quake struck at around 5:10 a.m. on Wednesday, about 17 miles north of Herat, killing 1 additional person. People generally in that region now sleeping out of doors, many buildings rendered uninhabitable, and of course the fear of additional aftershocks keeping people from taking shelter inside. According to UNICEF, more than 90% of those who died earlier this week were women and children. Topic number 3, Luton Airport. This is in Bedfordshire. I'm reliably informed by people in the UK after I inadvertently on social media called this a London airport. It is officially called the London Luton International Airport, but yes, I understand it's 35 miles out from the city center. Anyway, thousands of travelers at Luton suffered travel disruption on Wednesday as a fire basically demolished a new recently opened car park. Apparently it occurred in a diesel vehicle, but it seems to have been in a hybrid vehicle with the lithium battery combusting, and then that fire rapidly spreading from that vehicle to others in the car park. 4 firefighters and an airport employee treated for smoke inhalation. Topic number 2, politics. Here in the United States, House Republicans voted 113 to 99 to nominate Majority Leader Steve Scalise on the left to replace Kevin McCarthy as the Speaker of the House. Jim Jordan on the right was his main challenger for this position. Vote conducted by secret ballot. Now they need to move to a full vote of the House. They'll need 217 votes to put Scalise into the position as Speaker of the House. The question is whether some of Jordan's supporters will now switch their allegiance to Scalise to push Scalise across the line. Of course, Democrats will be voting for their leader, Hakeem Jeffries. This will take place. In fact, this vote may already be complete by the time you watch this report. Also, as expected earlier this week, another bit of news lost in the stories coming out of Israel. Robert F. Kennedy Jr. has announced he's dropping his bid to run for Democratic nominee for president, and he is going to run as an independent. This announcement made Monday in Philadelphia. And oddly, polls on where Kennedy would stand in an election shows that he draws higher favorability ratings among Republican voters than Democrat voters. This may be due to his stance on vaccines. He's been a longtime advocate against mandatory vaccines. That's a topic that resonates better with Republicans than Democrats, who typically were in favor of the mandatory mRNA serum during the recent outbreak. But I would suggest that if you're considering Robert F. Kennedy for president, look at all of his policies, because he's still a radical environmentalist and very, very liberal on most other issues. So again, if you're going to support somebody for president, not on any single candidate, look at just one single hot button issue. He is pro-choice rather than pro-life, and has advocated some rather, say, totalitarian tendencies when it comes to expressing opinions on social media. So, look, respect his right to run as an independent. It's going to certainly add an interesting dynamic to the presidential race in 2024, but just caution you, look at all of his policies and not just the one. Coming up, some good news for a German family seeking asylum in the United States. That's ahead on 5 and 10.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, we want to make sure you know how you can get your copy of this incredible new book in the Before Genesis Master Collection. When you order the Before Genesis Master Collection from the SkywatchTVStore.com, you'll receive the brand new book, Before Genesis, The Unauthorized History of Tohu, Bohu, and the Chaos Dragon in the Land Before Time by Dr. Thomas Horn and Donna Howell. In this phenomenal new work, you'll learn about the debate raging between the Old Earth and the Young Earth creationist groups, what the Earth was like during the without form and void era of Genesis 1-2, how ancient archaeological sites like Göbekli Tepe and the Doorway of the Serpent point to an intelligent race of beings on Earth alive before the time of Adam and under Lucifer's fallen influence. and for the first time ever, the conclusion to the events of Genesis that merges all contributing voices from not only the young and old creationist groups, but the scientific community as well, into one balanced and agreeable climax. But that's not all. You'll also receive the amazing DVD, What Lies Beneath, The Lost Secrets of the Watchers Below Göbekli Tepe, featuring archaeologist and author Dr. Aaron Judkins and best-selling author Derek Gilbert as they reveal Göbekli Tepe's historical use as a place of watchers worship, the evidence of a cult that venerated human skulls and reptilian creators, and the links between the god of Göbekli Tepe and the Bible. Also included in this must-have master collection are the digital, downloadable e-book versions of the Earth's earliest ages, Unearthing the Lost World of the Cloud Eaters, and the Apocrypha, including the Book of Enoch. These 3 masterpiece works will be available for download immediately when you place your order for the Before Genesis Master Collection and are being included in this offer absolutely free. All of these items hold a retail value of over $85. Yours now for your donation of only $35 plus shipping and handling. So don't delay. You can scan the QR code on your screen using the camera app on your phone for instant access to this special opportunity. You can also visit us at skywatchtvstore.com or call 1-844-750-4985 and ask for the Before Genesis Master Collection right now.
Item number 1 today, some asylum seekers get some good news. A German family who actually granted asylum here in the United States in 2010 fled to the United States after they chose to break a law in Germany regarding homeschooling, a Nazi-era law, by the way. There's a reason they're called government schools. Anyway, they wanted to raise their children with a Christian education and homeschool them. Can't do that in Germany. So they fled the country, came to the United States in 2008, granted asylum in 2010, settled down on a 4-acre farm in eastern Tennessee. However, during a routine check on September 6th, just 1 month ago, Uwe and Hannelore Romeke, the local Immigrations and Customs Enforcement Office, told the family they needed to collect up their passports and get out of the country within 4 weeks. They'd been here for 15 years actually, granted asylum 13 years ago, and now suddenly, with the Biden administration allowing millions of illegals into the country, taking this family that applied for and was granted legal asylum 13 years ago and telling them all of a sudden to get out. Well, if they were returned to Germany, of course, they would face fines, potentially jail time, and loss of their children. But thankfully, word of their situation got out. Petition on their behalf reached the ears of Tennessee Senator Marsha Blackburn and Representative Diana Harshbarger, who raised a fuss with the Department of Homeland Security. So they've been granted a 1-year stay of removal. Harshbarger and Blackburn are now pushing Congress for a bill to pass a bill that would grant them permanent resident status. So praise God for small mercies, but pray for this family over the next year because the Biden administration has shown a real willingness to double down on people they consider enemies, like Christians who want to homeschool. Skywatch TV depends on your support to do what we do, and we always want to make sure you know how much we appreciate your support. During the month of October, for your gift of any amount, if you're in the U.S. or Canada, we'll send you a copy of the novel Ebenezer. Why a novel? Well, Donna Howell, who is a brilliant woman and a brilliant writer, picks up the story of Ebenezer Scrooge the day after Christmas. What happened to Scrooge after Christmas Day and that euphoria wore off? How has his life changed? We'll send you a copy of that book for your gift of any amount during the month of October if you're in the U.S. or Canada. More details and a place to donate online, skywatchtv.com. Look for the red donate button or call us toll-free during business hours at 844-750-4985. Satan, not the same character as Lucifer? I didn't think so up until the time I researched and wrote my book, The Second Coming of Saturn. Donna Howell discusses that this week on Skywatch TV as part of the Before Genesis discussion, a 6-week investigative series on what happened before Eden was created. The rebel in the garden, who was Satan, by the way. Satan's just not Lucifer, different character. Anyway, there was another rebellion that took place before Eden. So you find out more. It sounds confusing, but when you get into the Bible and read it through, it makes sense. Our broadcast schedule is posted at skywatchtv.com/channels. You can watch the program now at our website. All of our videos are there, skywatchtv.com. You can also check it out on Roku or Apple TV, our set-top box. Make sure you've got the Skywatch TV channel for your set-top box, that is. Or you can also see it at the YouTube channel for the main program. That's at Skywatch TV Now. Rumble.com/SkywatchTV, or better yet, get our free mobile app, because all of our video content is there, along with an audio Bible with multiple translations, a place to donate if you're so led, a calendar of our upcoming events, and more, all in the palm of your hand, regardless of whether you're holding an iOS, Android, or Amazon Kindle Fire phone or tablet. To make things easy to find the right app, we've got links to their app stores at our website, skywatchtv.com. Look for the link in the top menu bar. Thank you for watching as we keep watch. I'm Derek Gilbert, and this is 5 in 10 from Skywatch TV.